maybe I'll invite first Maria Petschnig and Marc Richter. Hello, please join me on stage. Okay, so each of you can draw one person. Maria, you go first. Okay, so we have Santiago Fernandez. Hello, Santiago. Please join us on stage. Hi. And Marc will draw a second person. This is exciting. We have never done this. Marina, join us. Hello, where are you? Is she here? Ah, there she's coming. Hi, Marina. Hello. Have a seat. So, hi, I'm Dennis. Nice to meet you. Here's your official Critics Week badge. Same for you, Marina. Hello. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Dennis. So please have a seat. There are mics for you. Ah, it's wonderful. Finally, we get to know our audience. Hi. So when did you put your names in the box? Before the films or after? Okay, and you, Marina? You didn't put it? Oh, wow. Okay, so somebody owes you a drink, I guess. Yeah. And Santiago, did you reconsider?
No.
Do you regret putting your name before?
No, I really liked it, and I've always loved talking about films with friends. So it would even better with people that actually do them and that love them the same way that I do. So it's really great to be here. Actually, yeah.
Hi. Maybe we are future friends.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. That's why I came to Berlin also. So yeah.
So maybe we want to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm curious, who are you?
I'm Santiago. I come from Spain. I actually moved here 2 months ago. Yeah. I'm learning German at the moment, and I'm trying actually right now to save some money so I can start acting and study film here. So yeah. That's what I want to do right now, and I'm working. What happens? I'm working at night in a restaurant, so this is actually the first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, I don't drink. Thank you. This is actually the only day that I have free in the restaurant, so that's why I'm here. If not, I would have come every night. Yeah.
Oh wow, amazing! Yeah. And you just moved to Berlin, so do you have flatmates?
The flatmates, yeah. I live with 4 people in a VK, and everyone asked me why did I move to Berlin like in November when the cold started, and I'm like, I don't know. I just needed to move somewhere, and Berlin was the place. So yeah, it's really cool, really cool. I like it actually. Yeah.
Amazing. And you, Marina, what brought you here, and who are you?
I'm Marina. I'm from Spain.
Nice. What?
Oh, amazing.
All right.
I moved here 1st of November 2009.
All right.
To act.
Nice. Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing.
So I was hearing, I was like, wow, no, this is not happening. And but I moved to work with a theater company.
Nice.
And, and I worked with them for many, many years, and now I don't act much. Now I'm teaching, which is an experience also. It's very intense.
And what are you teaching?
Acting and movement. Yeah.
That's so cool. Maybe I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. I can use some advice or connections or stuff.
Or now, yeah.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So welcome to Berlin.
Thank you.
I'm also going to move to Berlin soon, by the way. So yeah.
Where do you live?
Where are you from?
I live in Leipzig. And I'm actually from the same. I'm actually from the same city as Marc, which we just found out.
Very small town in south of Germany.
All right.
We found out today.
Which one?
Come from. It's called Emmendingen in the Black Forest.
Oh, in the Black. Okay.
It's known for having one of the largest psychiatric
exactly. That's what it's mostly known for.
Hospitals in Germany. Yeah. And yes, and Maria, you are from Austria. Yeah. So maybe the two of you, of course, we know now that you made these films, but I think tonight is a wonderful chance, maybe not reducing each other to our professions, but maybe the two of you, could you also talk a little bit about how you came to like cinema and yeah, and what you do besides making films?
I'm a musician, actually, originally. So I came very late to making films. Basically, I'm a musician for 25 years or more. I've released 20 albums and play concerts, make soundtracks for video artists. And I guess it was in the COVID pandemic, basically, 2022, that the first software for AI picture generation came out. And I had a lot of time on my hands because I couldn't play any concerts. So yeah, I got into picture making first, and then maybe 1 year later, the first video generators came out, and got deeper and deeper into it, got invited to film festivals, and now I'm here.
Yeah, here you are. And Maria?
Well, I always wanted to be an artist, and I studied painting, and I moved to New York because I knew I needed and a different environment, because I think I knew that my work needs to change. And then I tried out different things, but there was a performative aspect in my work from almost the beginning in the paintings already, and I pursued that more, and I could tell after doing a few experimental videos that they were way more interesting. But then it still took a long time because it was just me with the camera, and then it became lonely or just limited again. And then I slowly started to collaborate and invite other people into this world that I was in with my video work. And then again, many more years after, it became more narrative, and the projects became bigger and longer. Yeah, and here we are.
You say you wanted to become an artist. Since they want to start acting, I'm curious, like what drove you? Like, why did you want to become an artist?
It was the I just felt the most free, and this was where I got lost, and where you're in this zone and everything else disappears. So it's the activity that you are drawn to and that you want to be in for most part of the day. Not more communicating through the work than doing it in other ways. I'm not so. I think most artists they communicate through their work, and so you try to be the best communicator in that, to convey what you think about, what is important to you, and what you don't see. So you need to do it. You don't see it already.
So we'll learn maybe more about art tonight. Actually, I think what we all share tonight is, of course, that we are spectators. So we just watch these films together. And since this our wonderful format tonight is dedicated to the audience, I think I want to underline that a little bit. And before we talk in detail more about the films, I'm curious. Could you maybe describe how it feels for you to be a cinema audience? Like when you're an audience in a cinema, how is it different for you than being an audience in other cases, like in theater? Or yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about this experience. I think the films we just saw also work with that in an interesting way, like how we look at the world and humans. And,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, going to the theater to watch a film, a movie, it's just literally a way of going to another place. Like literally every problem that I have literally disappears, and I just fall like into a place that I just I just sit there and I see it develop, and it's really different from watching a movie at home, because at home you have a lot of distractions and it's easier to just pause and do other things and everything. But in theater, it's like you get obligated like to watch it and to experience it. And I don't know, it's a wonderful experience actually. Just going to the theater and the vibes of being there. And I don't know. I just it's just a feeling of being in another place. Like I don't know how to explain it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so easy. So we can try together.
Really difficult. Yeah.
How about you, Marina?
For me, I think a little bit the same. Yeah, and if and if I think about like film or like theater or like performance or music, definitely there's like a live component that it's not there in cinema. But it's for me the language it's beautiful. I mean, getting to cinema is a lot about the thoughts that are not said and the blicken,
the gaze,
the gazes that are not like captured by the other characters, but by the camera. And I really like to get into the eye of the camera and get the story through it. This is something that it gives me like a sneak peek and saying like, okay, now I can be over here and I can see what you cannot see. And this I like it very much. And it always depends on like what you watch. Some things is like you feel like you are just in the thing, and some other things makes you watch the material with a lot of distance and like, yeah. So, but I love cinema. Yeah.
How about you two?
I can second all that, but yeah, what I don't like so much about it compared to like the music scene is that it's quite a passive activity, like sitting in the cinema. And I come from a DIY music scene where like everyone is doing something, like, you know, everyone is a musician or an artist or doing radio or writing or whatever. And in cinema, it's quite a bit passive. You can't participate in a way because it's so expensive to make a film and so difficult. So that's like the difference I see to music.
So you felt passive when you watched the films today?
That's, no, not really. I mean, I mean passive in a way that I can't like artistically participate. But no, when I watched the film, it took me a while to get into it. But first I thought it might get boring or so. But then you get into the rhythm of the film. It was like the camera was very matter of fact, you know, like, and then you slowly you're like living there in this room. But I felt a bit claustrophobic because I know the situations and I could relate to the situations, and I'm a bit I don't like living with other people, so I could feel that claustrophobia, and also it showed this form of poverty, like maybe that we as an artist know very well, and yeah, a rich person doesn't have to do these things, I guess. I don't know if he's missing something or.
By the way, actually, Marc watched Maria's film for the first time tonight, and Maria watched Marc's film for the first time tonight. So, yeah, that's very interesting. And I'm very happy that actually they chose to not watch the films before.
Yeah, and I was going to add, like what you just said, that I'm living right now in a villa with four people, and I actually didn't think about that until you talk now. That there's a lot of familiarities with what happened in the movie and what I live every day. Uh, so yeah, I just realized that, and also a lot of usually in those types of environments, you tend to prejudge beforehand. And actually, in my experience, what I just experienced here in Berlin, it's the people that I expected. The first day, I was like, oh, you're going to be messy, you're going to be dirty, whatever. They are literally the opposite, and the ones that I thought they're going to be the best are the worst ones. So it's like really interesting how, yeah. And also in the film, it said that when you go to a place and they want the room, they're going to make you feel like they're going to tell you what you want to hear. So that was actually also really interesting with the guy that's like that. He said, yeah, I work in coffee shops. I'm this editor and everything. I get up early, and then the second sequence, it's like 12 a.m. and he just got up. So I was like really relatable also. Yeah, really good.
But I think in the beginning, when you move to a new city, it's a good idea to. That's how you meet people quickly. They invite you, they take you along, and overall, I think I don't want to miss all these experiences. It just took way longer all these years. I didn't think I would live with roommates for that long, but there were many great people also.
20 years?
22 years.
Yeah, actually, and you met a lot of people that you just said, and one of the guys that I'm living with, the other day we had like a 10-minute conversation, 10, 20, 30-minute conversation about success and life and all of that, and that's also true because I would have not had that conversation if I would be living with myself. It's like a different kind of environment, and it's really it's good. It has really good things living with other people, and people coming and going. You meet a lot of people.
Yeah, but if I think about the culture of living with people and having roommates and stuff, for me it was very. I felt also the same thing, like extremely claustrophobical in like this little apartment, and then it got me thinking a lot about like what the positions that we get, because you see what I understood the character was doing is like, I'm not renting because I want to live with someone. I'm renting because I'm in need of money, right? And then like these poor conditions of living, and then it's like, fuck, because I want to do this, I earn no money, therefore I need the money from the other people, and then I become the abuser because I'm subletting something that it's not in conditions, and they have no air conditioning, they have no heating, like water is dropping from the ceiling, and it's like, it's like, yeah, but like you want someone to live with you, but you want them to live under certain conditions. Like, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with the space, and this is not live here during the day. And it's like, okay, but so it's like the abuse becomes the abuser somehow, and it felt weird to develop the empathy to the character, because it was like. And for me, it's also a generation thing that like generation thing.
Yeah.
Generational. I don't know.
Yeah.
Generational. That we don't share apartments anymore because we want to get to know the people. We share apartments because we don't have another option, and this sucks quite a lot. And in a city like New York, where the rooms are so small, because if you go to Wien or Berlin, you still might have the chance to have a 20 square meters room, and therefore, if you are all the day in there, nobody's gonna notice it. but in such small apartments. And it's like, it's quite a thing of like Airbnb society, what we've become. And I was like, oh my God, this is who we are? We have to become the abusers in order to keep living the life we want to live. It was quite shocking.
I'm curious, Marina, because when you talked about being a spectator in cinema, you were like, there's also something voyeuristic about it, which you like in cinema. How did you feel about Maria's film? Did you feel this was a film in which you enjoyed being a voyeur?
Yes, sometimes yes. And sometimes I felt like, oh my God, I need to get out of this room. You know, like, wow, this is very, very, very intense. You can feel why there's like, but I would say yes. Yeah. I love being passive in art, by the way.
Okay. But why did you want to become an actress?
I am an actress. I worked many, many years as an actress. But
this is not passive.
Yeah, no, but when I go to see things, I like being passive.
How about you, Maria? Do you enjoy being passive in cinema, or would you say this is something you can relate to, that description, that watching a film is for you something passive?
No, I want to engage, hopefully be drawn in, that it's that it's going to be an intense experience. That's why I want to see it on a big screen with a good sound system, and I want to feel something, and I want to be pushed and be comfortable, be uncomfortable, or pleased or annoyed. I think this is what I'm looking for. That I walk out differently, and even if I don't agree with the decisions of the artists, that they stay with me, and I want to get beyond. What was the idea behind the motivation?
What was your idea behind it? Like your motivation?
Maybe adding to that question, can you relate to the description Santiago gave of leaving your real world problems in a way maybe behind? Is that something which your film works against, maybe even? I don't know. But like when I watch Maria's film, I think it doesn't make it very easy for me to leave my real world problems behind.
I can't answer that. I have to ask the others.
You want to ask the audience or these others?
Yeah.
You can choose. We have the audience here and there.
Whoever wants to answer.
Okay, so in case anybody wants to.
Yeah. I mean, this was my life in New York, so I'm way too close to it. I don't know if how somebody in Berlin or in another city here, how foreign or how similar is it to their own life?
Actually, that's maybe something we could just briefly mention. So Maria's film is based on Maria's experiences of living together with people in New York. So it's not just a film in which you present an idea to us, but it has also some kind of layers in there which are connected to you as a person. Could you lower the volume of my mic? It's kind of beeping in my ear. Sorry. Since they were also speaking about their experiences of living together with others, this seems to be something which has inspired you to make this film, and you felt a certain need to discuss this through your art, right?
I don't know where to start. There were so many aspects about making this. The first one was I had been living in New York for so long, and because it's a city that it's hard to, it's hard to, as an artist, to pursue a career. So you have to, on a regular basis, ask yourself, does this still make sense? What I'm putting up with, and am I still happy? And do I still want this? So a few years ago, I said to myself, okay, should I I'm ready to leave and to. It was the best decision in my life to move there, but I'm getting tired, and I need a change. But then I said to myself, okay, I still want to make one more film, and where a lot, a lot of ideas are merged, and for me, it all made sense what I was doing, and because there were so many references to other works of mine that I did it in the past. So this would bring it together on one hand, then these let's call them interesting experience over the years with many different characters. I could document this life in this one apartment that I had at the end, and kind of challenge myself and see how if I could make a feature film. And then the writing. So I was working on another idea that wasn't I was stuck with the script, the phase of writing the script, and then my co-writer, my friend, my partner Thomas, he suggested just like that. Why don't you write down some of those experiences with the other people, with living with other people? And I immediately got to writing, and it all came so easily, and that was that. And then I didn't know. I soon after dropped this other idea and the other film idea, and that was the start of it. Yeah, and that gave me one more reason to live there. Okay, it's gonna be maybe 2 more years, but I can do this, and this would really, this would then, how should I say, would be the final thing of all these years, and make sense of why I was doing all of this for so long, and put it into this one final work.
We can hand you a mic. Yeah, that one. Exactly. It's coming your way.
Sorry. So in a way, it was a very selfish reason that I need to do this to make sense of my life, and find closure, so I can then move on.
Self-therapy.
Yes. Yeah.
Turn shit into gold.
Okay, now, yes, please share your
Maria,
question.
do you consider it a documentary or a movie? Or both? Or, well...
Yeah, both autofiction, very close to my life. And this love-hate relationship to the city also. That it's not just being encountering and meeting so many different characters and people, but also working on or investigating why New York is such a fascinating place that you want to put up with everything, and why it's a great place, but it's also very very difficult, not so easy. A place with many problems.
I'm curious because in Maria's film, but also in Marc's film, there are a lot of well, I'm not sure if we can call them humans, but human bodies or bodies in the center. And I thought a lot, like when I rewatched the film here in the cinema, I thought a lot about the acting, and it's a miracle that the two of you are here with us tonight. So I'm very curious actually to hear from you how the acting in Maria's film felt. Like, did you feel this was because of the documentary question also? Did you feel that like that film was realistic, or could you like relate to these characters?
Yeah, totally. There's the scene where she's crying, talking with the therapist. I was amazed by the crying, and that like lowering the camera to, to feel like, "Oh, I don't want you to see me cry," but then recomposing herself and then putting the camera up of the laptop again, and so like, and then the therapist like turns the scene all around and starts to doing like stupid things to make her feel like um a little bit okay, or to make her, feel like I don't know the word in English, but um like being a little bit silly to let go of the sadness. I just love that scene. That part for me is the in the movie is like the most beautiful, because it's like the breakdown, and at the same time, I don't know, it's a really 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 good scene. I love that one. And also when she's in the bathroom and she sees the pee on the floor, she's like, "What the fuck?" And that part is also super relatable, because when you live with other people, you go to the kitchen, you see this, and you say, you're just like, why is that there? Like, and it was really relatable. I liked the acting really a lot. Yeah.
That's surprising to me that you described that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just really, really, really good.
How about the others? You want to comment on the acting in Maria's film?
I don't need to hear praise. I'm open to criticism.
All right.
Something that could have been proved.
All right. If I just thought of two things, because I normally when I go to a theater, I don't try to, oh, this should be changed or anything. But I saw, maybe it's a lie, I don't know, that Christopher Nolan, I think he sent, it was my favorite director. He sends his movies to one of 7 of his best friends, and like Steven Spielberg told him, though these 7 minutes have to be cut out. And I was like, how does a director know like those exact 7 minutes have to be cut out of the film? Like, why? Like, I don't know. It just didn't make sense. And I started to think about it while watching the film. And the only part where I felt like maybe this, or maybe because I didn't understand it, it was the first interaction between her and the therapist. I didn't feel like what was going on. And maybe I would have liked to see her struggle a little bit more about finding her artistic side, and struggling at the same time with living with other people, because that drains you. Living with other people that in your own space, it's like drains you, and at the same time you need that energy to be artistic. So that I do in the kitchen. It happens a lot. Like working in the kitchen is like super mentally and physically draining. And when I get home and I try to write things, or I try to act in the camera and everything, or do monologues, it just feels like I don't have the energy. And actually, I'm trying to get another job because of that. But it's like I would have liked to see her struggle a little bit more with that, because I would have felt more relatable. And also the last part with her best friend, I didn't find like he was like every other character that came into action, like into the room, they had something weird. The girl was like really needy, and the other ones were like weird. The other one was like creeping on her. But the last one, I didn't quietly get like he had something that could actually bother her. Only the last part when he tells her like, I'm moving in 1 week, and and
So you were
yeah.
waiting for a problem to arise,
Yeah,
and you didn't
exactly.
see it.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but that was not the idea. I wanted somebody who seems, maybe it's going to be her new friend. Oh.
But that wasn't the friend who was supposed to move in. Not sure.
No. Because,
no.
because
So
she just
I
made
wasn't
that
sure.
up. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it could be suggested.
All right, so he wasn't the friend. Maybe I understood that wrong.
No, because she says the white lie worked, And that's how it happened in my life, that this person was such a parasite in draining all the energy, being so depressed, that I had to come up with I had to think of something to get him out.
All right.
I could just deal with
All right.
with him. So it could have been that she and the therapist talked, and he suggested, why don't you tell him that you have this good friend coming? But she made it up, and there was no friend. She just told him, so he would need to leave.
All right. I thought that he was a friend, so yeah, I didn't.
Me too.
Oh, and so you expected more chemistry, or that there would be a warmer interaction. I see. Okay.
I'm curious, did you find the film funny?
Yeah,
I heard some laughter.
yeah.
This is also like when we talk about seeing films together, of course, in this program, I was very curious, like what would happen? Would people laugh during this program? How would the room feel? Would people walk out? I think it's also not the easiest films to speak about, but like what feelings they create in us. So it's also maybe an interesting moment to try this together. But maybe let's start from the humor. Like I heard some laughter in some moments, but I don't know who was laughing, obviously. So how about you? Like, did you laugh during the film, or maybe both films?
Not much for me. The moment of like the man who is like repairing the key thing. He was like, women. I don't know what he said. That was a very nice.
I think almost everybody in the room was laughing in that moment.
I was, but yeah. Otherwise, not a lot. For me, it was more like a person going through that journey. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, and can you relate to what Maria was describing as feeling uncomfortable in an experience with art? Is this something you can relate to her film? Like, did you feel uncomfortable during the film also?
Yeah, many times. As I said, I think the space has a really, really narrative power. Definitely, there's also a lot of how the film is cut and everything. There's a lot of like the tempo is quite also the pace. It's sometimes it's very like not stretch, but you can feel the daily basis rhythm of life. It's not something. There's no hectic. There's no rhythm in it. You have this last point where she goes through the therapies and suddenly there's all those tears. But for me, it was amazing, like how quiet the main character through the whole film. It's quite stable. Doesn't matter which kind of like weird roommate she gets. There's like all and some explosion, and then through the end. And for me, that had like very, very daily basis rhythm, which is also maybe makes the humor a bit difficult because it's like humor is all rhythm. So how are you gonna break that? What was the question?
Like, can you relate to that idea of feeling uncomfortable in the film, or could you relate it to that film? And
there was one character for me was very funny, the man who creeps into her room, because I know there was some, but I really like his acting. I really did, and there was something in this character that was like, it made me curious, like what's the story of these men? And this is also at many points of the film I was asking myself, who are these people? Because they are put here, but you can see they have a story also the same as her, right? And at some points I was asking myself, who are these people? Like, why is he creeping or like doing all this stuff? I don't know. I was asking,
But that's a good thing, I guess, that you can add your own story to it, and because like everyone has these stories, and I also like this character because he was like this creepy guy in one moment, and the next moment he was like very nice person, and so. But that's how people are.
Sometimes when I watch the film, I have the feeling that it's surprising for me, or it feels. I feel there's some kind of a weird tension between what I expect from a person, how the person might be, like from the presence of that person in the rooms, and then what they say, like how they behave. So somehow
Like-
there's a strange feeling of artificiality when I watch your film, which I find very interesting. which brings us, of course, to Marc's film. So
Very good.
so I don't know, like, yeah, it's so difficult to describe like how these two films work together. I was having a great time personally. Maybe we can try and talk like how this worked for you, like to see them
I'm not
together.
sure if it works together, but
Yeah, how does it feel for you to see your film after
I
Maria's
thought
film?
they were quite different. Like, maybe as a relief, hard for me to describe my own film, but it was kind of a relief because the situation in Maria's film was kind of claustrophobic, and mine is a bit more like fun, basically.
Yeah, and I was like, there's a big difference between both films. Is that Maria's film is very like that. You feel a familiarity and everyday situations, and yours literally was like another planet, like literally, or maybe like exotic planet or in the universe. And it's like when I go to a gallery art, and I see like a painting or something, a colorful painting. Your movie made me feel that, like, what is this? Like, it doesn't make sense, but at the same time, it has that kind of difficulty to create something like that because it comes out of your mind, and it wouldn't have occurred to me too, because I don't think I'm not creative in that way. I like to base my creativity in my own personal experiences and more emotional and like deep things. And for me, watching something like that, like all the shapes and colors, and it's just like it amazed me too. And the music also, it was like super weird, but at the same time it was like, why? What is this? So it's really cool, really different things.
Mike,
Yeah.
I have a question. Were there any actors involved? Or never, never, ever?
It's completely digital.
Everything. No, there's
yes.
never any.
Nothing.
You didn't work with any material or
No.
sculptures? Or?
That question comes very often, but it's completely digital. So it's made with artificial intelligence. So it's based on text first. So I mean texts. So the way I work is I use a very long surrealistic texts, kind of abstract, and feed them into a software, an artificial intelligence software, and it interprets these texts.
These prompts.
And prompts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Prompts that almost function as poems or something like that. And because they're so abstract, they produce a lot of very different pictures.
Yeah.
So a lot of these are based on the same text, and the machine interprets these texts in different ways. And this just runs on my laptop and produces like thousands of pictures like this. And then I narrow these down to the one that interests me, and put them in groups basically, and themes, and make different films. And then comes the animation, and then I put it in a film cutting software, and put a lots of small parts of music together and cut them in the film software to the film, like both simultaneously.
And how is it for you? Because when you write, you imagine.
Yeah.
I understand that we think about pictures, kind of some pictures pop up in
not
our
really,
mind.
no, because that's like the interesting part, that the machine comes up with the pictures.
Exactly.
Lots of pictures.
So how is the bridge between
a lot of what you call imagination comes from the machine.
And how is for you to watch this for the first time? In the meaning, like when you write things?
It's quite a new software, so it's quite amazing that these things come up, and it's almost like addictive to get like a lottery that you have like thousands of pictures, and oh, that's a great one, and then you have 100 really bad ones.
But find yourself then writing to see what comes on
Hmm?
the other side. Find yourself writing to see what comes on the other side in this addiction of like, ooh, if I fit this comes up like.
Yeah, of course you can influence it, and you make small changes and stuff. So you do make decisions that make it closer to your own imagination, and so you learn how to talk to the machine, basically. Right? You know how it reacts better, like after a while, and yeah, it's interesting.
By the way, if you want to join in, yeah, there's a question in the first row. Third row, actually.
Yeah, I'm interested in is the text you're writing, is this part of your artwork, or is it not important anymore once the film is finished? Or would you, I don't know, you said your films are shown on film festivals or maybe as well in galleries or wherever, and is it then maybe part of the artwork, or is it once the film is ready, the text is not?
It's not because it's very confusing mostly. I mean, maybe it would be interesting to see, but I'd rather keep it secret actually, because I don't know. I'm interested in the end results basically, and then continue working with that.
I have an observation about the program, and I want to share it with you. By the way, yeah, just raise your hands and get the mic if you want to join in anytime. Just signal it to my colleague. So when I watch the program, and we see Maria's film, I think it's in a certain way also very frustrating and maybe unsatisfying or claustrophobic or depressing that the humans don't find a way to communicate well, to get along, to coexist, to live. And when I watched it today, I thought when the cat comes in, it's such a beautiful moment because she starts cuddling the cat all the time. And there's suddenly a moment of tenderness in the film, which I was craving for all the time. And I have that in your film, Marc, towards the end. I mean, your film is titled Hugs and Kisses. I mean, it's not a...
That gives it away.
It's really not a psychological film, but in the end of your film, when they start kissing and cuddling, I'm in a weird way really touched.
But that's exactly what happened.
I don't usually have that when I watch AI films.
That's exactly what happened to me. That's
You
why
have
I
the same
made the
feeling.
whole film, because this only appeared like in maybe one clip. So first of all, I had the pictures, and they're not kissing in the pictures. So with the animation, I don't do very much prompting except for like camera movements or so. But I usually don't tell the machine like what the creatures are supposed to do, and they suddenly started kissing, and it really touched me, and I was really surprised as well, and so I made this film like that. That's why I put it together, and also the other things, because I don't do much like not much prompting how these characters should move. They always do lots of like very trivial human things, like just touching each other, or like very banal
What
things,
humans do.
which I like, because but they're not humans. Like it's really strange to watch them do these very human things, and if you imagine that this is all digital, basically.
Marina is nodding.
I don't know you, but the kisses were weird. I mean, it's like a lot of fluid kissing. It's like a lot, right? It's like I don't know if I was touched by the cuddling, but definitely was some kind of like, let me try to see how this feels.
I want to share.
That's human.
I'd like to share a thought, and I would like to know if the audience, if anybody else was thinking about that too. While I was watching your film, which I very much enjoyed, I was quite thrilled and entertained, and kind of, I was smiling all the time. But I do wonder how a disabled and a disfigured person how they would experience it, because there are all these bodies there, so this form.
I know what you mean, but I also consider them quite beautiful, the creatures. So, but I don't know how a person would react.
There were some. One was like no arms, cut through here, and just the face like covered around here, and all white with like triangles. I think it was. I love that. Like I said, this goes like a sculptor in a thing. I like that one. Also, like there was the baby that was like orange with, I don't know. There were some that I was like, that's actually pretty cool. Like, if I had money, I would buy that one to put like in a in a creative, like to say, like to give like life to the room or something. Like people, my grandmother has like how do you say, like a chair like that, but really big and red in a corner with things like that. It represents like creativity, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean it's structured like paintings, basically. Lots of paintings, one after another, which has also to do with the technical limitations of the software, because you can't have a character in many different scenes. You can have it now, but not like 1.5 years ago when I made the film.
So there's another comment from the audience up there. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to say thank you for showing your films today. It was really, it was actually a great evening. And I have a question for Marc. Because as far as I know, the anti-AI moods in the art world and in the film world are quite strong currently. A lot of films aren't being accepted to the festivals if like any type of AI has been used there. Same with the art pieces. I was just wondering, what was the reception of your work? Like, did you show it anywhere else, or do you have it exhibited somewhere, or what is the like, or what is the progress of the what is the word? I forgot the word.
Perception, criticism.
No, when you create something and then you send it out, what is the word for that?
Submission.
I think it was
distribution. Yeah,
distribution.
Thanks.
I mean, I do this all myself. There's no company behind it. So this one was shown at like 10 film festivals. So it did work out, I guess, but I see a lot of anti-AI sentiment that's more on the internet, where it's more anonymous, and I can understand some of it, of course. I think the only criticism we had was when Dennis, one of the curators here, invited me to another film festival.
There was Amos, I think.
Amos, sorry.
We are collectors.
Where someone was asking me how I feel about getting sued very soon. So, yeah. By, I guess, copyright holders.
Mike is coming.
What do I say? Sued.
Sued by copyright holders.
Okay, but maybe you can also expand on the whole topic. I mean, the question remains. Maybe that was also what the other person was referring to. How artistic of endeavor is it? If I don't know. I mean, I'm not no expert, but if like if there's not like a production of like actually produced images, but it's like a kind of a randomized or random.
It is, yes.
And
it's a very different. I mean, it's a very different production process than like making a film with a camera. It's definitely a film without a camera, without light. But I think it's an interesting process. But of course, it's not something a lot of filmmakers would want to do.
Yeah, yeah. I struggle.
Maybe
also.
it's because I'm from outside this
Yeah.
film scene,
Yeah.
that it's more interesting to me.
Okay.
And yeah.
There's one question I have. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, I just want to make another remark. I felt I was reminded to Peter Bruegel works, some kind of fluid Peter Bruegel works. This is something which stayed in my mind, at least all the figures. Don't know if anybody can relate to that as well.
Don't know him very well, so
I don't know him, but now I'm curious, of course.
yeah, I will check.
I'm also curious, you know, usually when you have a Q&A session or a discussion after films, you always ask filmmakers questions, or in many festivals. But when I'm in the audience in a film screening, I'm also often very curious what the other audience members are thinking. So I just wanted to mention, like, if any of you in the audience have a question to your fellow audience members, that might be so interesting. It's maybe your only chance. I hope we do this format again next year, of course. Or maybe also the other way around. You were watching the screening. Are you curious about your peers down there, what they have felt, or did you have any thoughts during the screening? What you always wanted to ask people about this program?
Nothing comes to mind, but I guess I imagine that we all relate to like that we all love movies. If not, we wouldn't be here. I don't know what to say. So yeah, no, I don't think I have a question. I don't have anything. No? I would, yeah.
There seems to be one for you, though. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I have one question from Maria and one question from Marc. Maria, when I was watching the movie until the moment that the old lady came in. For me, it was a movie about Mary. But when Mary left the home, you didn't left the apartment. You stayed there. You just show Mary in one short scene that she was crying, maybe in Philip's room. But you mainly stayed in the apartment after Mary left the apartment. So from that moment on, the movie for me became a movie more about the apartment rather than Mary. So first, I wanted to know: was it this your own feeling too, or not? And my question from Marc is that, first of all, like what Petra said, it reminded me of the works of not Bruegel but Francis Bacon. I don't know if he was inspiring for you or not, but I have another question. When you were talking about the process of your work, it was like that you're giving some prompts, you get some pictures, and then you again edit what AI is giving you.
Yes.
And this is very interesting because that makes you the writer or the author and the editor of your own work at the same time. Because, for example, if you are a novelist, you write your novel and then it is finished and you give it to the editor and then he or they start actually working on it. But here you are at the same time the novelist and the editor, or the filmmaker and the editor.
And the producer and the distributor
and the musician, right?
Yeah. And the musician. And
yeah.
But that's what I'm used to from making music, that I also had a record label. So I was releasing my own music for a while. Now I have another record label. I was making the artworks for my records. So I'm making the distribution of my records. So I'm used to doing everything on my own.
Yeah. And my question that how does it feel? Do you feel nervous because no other eye is actually seeing your work, or you're quite comfortable with it? So these were my two questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's for me it's more interesting to work on my own, and because I know some like both in my music and in the films, I know other people would tell me to cut things out, and my experience that it gets weirder when I do it on my own and don't have any censorship from outside. So I prefer working on my own.
I'm curious about both of you. Are you actually thinking about the audience when you work? For you, Marc, you work alone and you edit the film, you release it into the world without any outside intervention. And Maria, I'm curious whether you are actually, whether you have an intention of making people feel uncomfortable or to provoke. Is this something you can relate to?
I think I try not to think about the audience, but it's what I would like to see, and but then of course I have a dialogue with my friends and close peers, and see if what I try to do is captured, then they also see that they get that. I think it's more towards the end of when I'm finishing something that then I'm starting to think of what would the audience think now, and what is this going, what this will be when it's out in the world. I can't deny that they're not there at all, but I try not to, because it would pull me out and would be more would have more doubts or but I still want to quickly answer his question about the apartment. From the beginning of this story, I wanted the apartment to also become another character in this film, and that it would influence and color, or give it a certain tone and a certain atmosphere. And how would I do that? That the apartment comes through, is another strong element in there.
Sorry, now we are mixing questions.
Thinking of the audience.
Yes, thank you.
No, I think I trust myself that if I get excited or repulsed, or if I'm laughing about something in my film, that there will be other people who feel the same. And it's also okay when they feel otherwise, like, you know.
Yeah, I actually think that's how great work is created, about doing things how you like even like for me, I experienced that in the kitchen, like do things like you want them done, like not think about, oh, how would them want it, how would she want it. Just do it how you like it, do it in a way that you feel like, oh, this is really good. And if people like it, amazing, and if they don't, they don't. Like, you do it, art is for yourself most of the time, like not explicitly just for others, but obviously if you do great work and you are able to share that with other people, and for other people to enjoy it also too, then it's even better. But yeah, that's like it. I haven't started, but I want to write like a short film about the normal day of a guy struggling with like surviving in, you know, having to work, having to pay rent, having to buy food, having to make the food and eat healthy and everything, and at the same time trying to use that as a trampoline, I think is the word in English, to pursue his dreams in other things like acting or music or it's finance, whatever they're trying to do. But I want to try to write something like that, and I will just write it in a way that it feels real to me, not in a way that feels real to others. And I think that's how you do great works. That's actually why you said you wrote the film because of your experiences. So that's how you do great work, I think. So yeah.
Marina, can you relate to that? Like that art is something you do for yourself, and when you act, since you've been working as an actress for a while.
Yeah, I do think on the audience. I do think, yeah, definitely. For me, it's a proceso comunicativo, it's a Kommunikationsprozess. And that's definitely, there's always, I've never worked really alone. There's always been a team, either on the creative process or in the production process. And there's a difference between changing your vision on things and not thinking about why am I putting this out there? Because like I feel very comfortable doing stuff in my room, but if I want to put it somewhere out, what's the reason for that? But I think it's the same. It's like, it's not that you don't think about the audience. It's like in the creative process, you do want to keep your own voice. You want to keep your side on things. But for me, definitely audience. Without them, I feel very depressed. But there was a question there.
Thank you for having me moderate. Yeah. So it's the last question. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I had one thought about Marc's film in relation to acting. Yeah. I mean, I think your figures, your characters act somehow, and I think these glitches or these mutations that don't really fit, that will keep me busy for a while to deal with it, because it's like a smell you don't smell so often or something like that, even if you're used to glitches. But how you as actors feel when you see things like that acting somehow? Is this
very interesting?
Yeah, is this something that because you mentioned you liked the acting of this one person in Maria's movie so much, and you can relate to that person, maybe to that kind of living and this body and everything. But how is with Marc's figures?
All right. I guess. Wow. Like I didn't feel relatable to Marc's film. It just felt like a part of me that it's usually off because of life and everyday things and work and all of that. Like a light was switched on because of all the shapes and different emotion that make you feel about, like, in contrast with the music and everything. So I wouldn't say I felt relatable. It just felt literally the opposite, like an exotic unknown place that I just was seeing develop, like, yeah, but not at all relatable. But that doesn't have to be bad. Like, really good movies and works can be super relatable, and others can be super non-relatable and be really good. So yeah. I don't know if I answered the question, but I just started to talk about it. Yeah.
Before Marina answers, I'm very curious about your answer as well. Just to follow up, earlier I remember you said you thought about maybe buying that baby or something. Because
as an artwork.
I thought it was interesting to hear, because I think that thought you wouldn't have it about a human body, but so it seems to be that you think about these bodies more as object related.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, exactly. You don't see, even if they have a face and they do face expression and they kiss and hug and everything. I saw them actually. That's good. I didn't think about them as people. That's maybe why I don't feel relatable, even if they kiss and hug. I felt them as aliens or objects, like a mix of both, and yeah, like I saw them more as exotic pieces that I can just purchase, and yeah, but not as someone to talk to. So yeah.
For me, when I see a lot of AI films that are trying to be very realistic about like human figures, they feel much more alien to me than my figures, actually. That doesn't work for me. Like then I want to see real actors. Like, really.
Yeah. How about you, Marina?
It's very funny that you said that because I did have this. This exactly. It's what you say, right? It's not just KI, AI. It's also quite fantastic what we've seen, right? It's not anatomical figures done by like it's colors and shapes and liquids and gas and I don't know. But I definitely was when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, no. I thought because I saw all these babies and I thought like, I was very, very, very close to cruelty. I was very close to say like, are we gonna open this door of like start pulling pieces of a baby apart? And are we gonna start? And I was like, no, don't do this. And I don't know, but there was something there of like, is this people? Is this not? I forgot your question, Tobias, but there was in the meaning of acting, there was something definitely extremely relatable. I wanted to kiss like I was thinking like, would you kiss like this again, Marina? Because you know what it feels to kiss that moist and for the first time, you know? But it's like, but I believe it because it's a movie of something that I cannot relate to a human thing. And then I was like, you just said this comment of like, but this happens, this feeling of like the first time you were kissing or like don't know how to kiss or like this humid kiss, we can all relate to that. So I could relate somehow, but on the other hand, I was like, I'm very, very close to cruelty, to start wishing that things get very ugly and then I was like, I don't think an actor would go that far. I don't think actors are very lazy sometimes and they don't leave the comfortable zone. And these things can leave the comfortable zone like this. And they can trigger us in many, many dialogues with ourselves like, oh, how far are we ready to go? Yeah.
We have these scenes in the Renaissance paintings in Caravaggio, and even older than that, you know.
Yeah.
So they're not new. I think maybe we have a kind of
Caravaggio that often.
Yeah.
Because they made me learn in the school, but I'm confront myself with this much often.
Yeah, but you know, they are in the museums and they have been praised for centuries. So I don't think they're new.
Can I just ask a very small closing question? Can you relate to that feeling when I watch Marc's film and of course also Maria's film? I have this feeling that when I watch or any film, like when I see a film, I often have the feeling that I feel the person who created the film, even only by editing it in the end. Or so I see what's in the film on the narrative level or what is shown to me, but then I also feel somehow that behind that there's a mind, obviously, who has shaped this. And with Marc and Maria's films, I have that, of course. And also with Marc's film, of course, there's AI characters in it. But I feel that what I feel in that film has been created by Marc. So, you know, there's something beyond that also. Can you relate to that feeling?
I take it as a compliment because this is what I love to hear from somebody that's trying to get this creator behind it or connect and feel. You know.
You're also a very mysterious person to me, I have to say. Like when I watch your film, you know, it's a mystery to me somehow how you created it and why, and it makes it it's extremely interesting, you know. Like it's really a mystery to me, like the mind behind that film. And when I try to access it through your film, it's not easy to read. Yeah. And it's fascinating to me. It's really fun.
I can't add anything to that.
All right. We can also close with that. But if you want to share another observation, okay. Okay, so thank you all for staying. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for our wonderful audience members, Marina and Santiago. Thank you. Thank you, Marc and Maria, for sharing your films with us. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.